All right, everybody. Well, welcome to June's Central Valley AI Marketing Hub. And it's good to see everybody. And it's also cool to see how people are watching these after they're recorded too. And maybe that's what some people prefer, which is great. We welcome you in the future watching this recorded. So, all right, today, with no further ado, we wanted to talk about what were the top prompts that marketers are using right now. And specifically, we went through and pulled some of the ones that we use, but this isn't just, a one-way thing. I mean, the goal of the hub is we're all kind of throwing in, hey, what's working, what's not. I know everybody here is using AI to some extent, and like anything, we've learned a lot. Like, gosh, these things started not quite a year ago, and usually things don't evolve that fast, at least within a year. But gosh, with AI, it is ridiculous. So that is the focus of today. So where I wanted to start, actually, I wanted to ask everybody, what is the main AI or LLM that you're using now? I mean, there's GPT, there's ChatGPT, there's Copilot, Perplexity is very popular. There's Claude, there's Grok, um, there's quite a few others. I mean, those are some of the bigger ones. But what are you guys using right now?
I'll start off first. I've invested way too much money in customizing my ChatGPT that I am faithful to it.
Okay,
So, ChatGPT.
all right, nothing wrong with that.
I
Mhm.
started off on ChatGPT and eventually when I upgraded my Google Business Suite and it included Gemini, it just made sense for me to go from like the free ChatGPT to using Gemini. But I don't know. Maybe I'm used to ChatGPT or maybe it works a little bit different, but I feel like I'm trying to bring my Gemini online in the same way that I was used to.
Yeah. Well, one thing I think it's hard to beat Nano Banana. Have you guys used Google's Nano Banana for image creation?
hmm
It's one of the best, I think. Um, all right, Kelly or Aaron, what are you guys using?
So I'm on Claude and I paired it up with Obsidian, which helped me develop a structure to start building wikis based off of what I'm doing.
Hmm.
So everything that I'm doing in a session gets logged into a wiki so that it helps me kind of overcome the limitations of the context window.
Okay.
And I'm hoping that would translate to if I had to switch to a different LLM, that the wiki it would be able to pull from those wikis as well.
And you
So,
built that in Obsidian.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So connecting Obsidian seemed more like just a way to visualize all the data, but in the implementation of Obsidian, it has you go through a process of um, kind of explaining to it what you do and how you want things structured. Uh, and then from there, it's essentially just writing files that get saved on my computer that then Claude can look through to get information about what's happened in the past. And it's helped a lot with the memory issues
Okay.
that the smaller context windows have.
so
Sweet.
when you say wiki, do you mean like it more memorializes everything you do for you?
Essentially, yeah. So like
Okay.
if it was to write to a Word doc, same
Okay.
same concept.
Got it.
Mhm.
And how does that extend itself beyond its already like how much it normally remembers? You're talking about memory issues. Like, is there a certain, I'm kind of ignorant on how the inner workings take place. Like, does it forget things at a certain point? Because I haven't really experienced that too much with like how it remembers most of my inputs.
Yeah, so every LLM is going to have a certain amount of tokens or context that it will have within what they call the context window. And once you exceed that context window, it has to condense everything that came before it in order to keep going. And so if you told it something really important before, it goes through and condenses, it doesn't necessarily know what to or what not to condense or keep. And so you may go back to it like a week later after having a really important conversation with it the week before, and it's like, I don't know what you're talking about. And that got frustrating. So I was looking for a solution to that.
So
Yeah.
the creating your own wiki is sort of like this consistent repository of always remember and reference all of that information.
Yeah, and it's creating individual wikis based on the topic. So if I have a client that I'm working on, it has a wiki for that client, and then it may have another wiki related to that client, but on a different, if I'm working on Google Ads for something or the website for something else, that way it can more easily reference what it's looking for other than having to scan an extremely long document.
Cool.
Yeah.
Have you found, so the equivalent of that, to make it like applying to GPT, is creating a knowledge base and then going back to that knowledge base to produce content around whatever that, why you, like if you created a knowledge base for a client, XYZ client, having a knowledge base for that client to then create new copy for that client. But you were saying that the problem is if you do that, then it forgets. But within a knowledge base of GPT, at least, it would still have all of that information and draw upon that information. So
This
is your hack more if you're using just one stream of an LLM
yes.
for all different clients?
Yeah.
So it's basically a hack around not having a knowledge base. And I know that GPT sets it up very easily to build a knowledge base. For example, Copilot doesn't really do that the same. So that's kind of your workaround.
So I think when I think of knowledge base, and correct me if I'm misunderstanding what that is, when I'm thinking of knowledge base, I'm thinking of like a branding guideline, like a document that says, say this, don't say this, use this color format, and so on.
Mm-hmm.
My goal is to do everything through AI. And so everything is happening in that chat session, if you will. And so those conversations are really important for me to take and reference later on without having to continuously change like that branding guideline.
Mm-hmm.
So for instance, I'm transcribing all of my meetings, and I take the transcript and I dump it into Claude for that customer. And then I talk to Claude about that transcript, and I want it to be able to in the future remember that when I can't. So
Okay.
that's where the wikis help to make sure it can reference some of that information.
Yeah. Well, in a sense, that is what GPT has built is yes, the knowledge base, but then anything that you reference, it's a separate thread, and you can always go back to that thread. And it's one of the things I don't like about GPT is that there's no timestamps. Like if you were to say, hey, what did I say? Like I know it was like 2 weeks ago when I was talking about this, and it has no concept of time. But it would be in the same thread. So in a sense, it sounds like that's what you've set up just with Claude, which is cool because Claude definitely has its pluses. And Kelly, what LLM are you using primarily?
So we use a mix. ChatGPT for creating content,
Mm-hmm.
Gemini for research, and then the tech team is just, they love Claude. I mean, to take them away from Claude would be sacrilegious at this point. None of us like Copilot. I don't know if anybody's used Copilot on the call, but actually, my grandson did a presentation on comparing all three, Gemini, ChatGPT, and Claude, and Copilot, not Claude, but Copilot scored the worst in almost every category. So it was really
Okay.
funny. So
Yeah. I think some people that use it, they use it because it's baked in, like they're part of Microsoft 360, Office 360. And that like if they're for a bit with a bigger organization, they almost have like a policy, like you have to use um, Copilot. I've never heard of anybody that prefers Copilot over other
I haven't either.
LLMs.
I never hear it mentioned. But if you're a Microsoft person, we were Microsoft people for like 20 years, and then we switched to the G Suite.
Mhm.
And um, I don't ever want to go back. I mean, it's a big difference. So,
Yeah. Well, and I could tell you on our side, um, you know, I think it's partly because of this hub, because we do the Central Valley hub, but then we also do a credit union marketing hub across the US. And I use GPT just because the last statistics I saw was it's got about 65 to 70% of the LLM market share. So it's the most popular. Um, so that's partly what we do, plus the knowledge base that we could spin up for our clients so that everything is stored in one place is really, really great. Another one that we use though, have you guys ever heard of Perplexity?
I've heard of it.
Yeah. And what's great about Perplexity is that it's almost like an operating system laid on top of an LLM. It's similar to Claude Code. Well, let me back up. Perplexity is like an operating system so that if I want to create some kind of image, Perplexity can use Claude, for example, or Nano Banana to create the image. But then if I want a blog post topic, a list of 10 blog post topics, it could go to GPT to do that. So it's going to leverage various LLMs to create, um, you know what, to create some options. And where we're experimenting is something called Perplexity Computer. Have you guys heard of that? So basically, there's two options. There's Perplexity Computer, and then Claude has something called Claude Code, and it's kind of this. They're kind of the same approach, and that is their API integrators. And so it's kind of like the Wild West of where AI is going, but like ultimately they allow different sets of data to talk. You set them up, you build parameters, and they can talk like that. So this is what we're working on and experimenting with ourselves is Perplexity Computer on more of the development side. Content side, we still use GPT because of knowledge-based stuff. So that being said, let me share with you guys. I'm going to pop this into chat for everybody.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Why did your tech team like Perplexity Computer better than Claude?
Um, Perplexity Computer, yeah, there was more of a there was more of an integration we found with ad platforms with Perplexity Computer. It seemed to do better with that. That's what gave us the not because we were looking at both. And
Okay.
so because it also Perplexity Computer is $200 a month.
Okay.
So which, that's not like breaking the bank, but it adds up over time. So we're kind of in trial mode with it right now and to see if we like where it goes. Otherwise, we're going to look at Claude Code. All right, I just threw into chat the agenda for the day, which I don't always do that, but the reason I did is that we have prompts in here. These are the prompts that we often like to use. And so you guys If you want, you can make a copy of this Google Doc so that you can have it for yourself. But I wanted to go through this. And so we often start with these prompts in these different marketing outreaches. So for email marketing, actually, am I sharing my screen? I'm not. Okay. So we don't have to start with email marketing, but these were just the ones that we wanted to cover today. Content generation, SEO, and we have a process as far as blog topic generator. Then we build the blog outline, and then we push out each section as far as within that outline to assemble that blog. And then we also turn the blog into posts to show you how that's done as well, because of course the goal is that the copy that you're writing about, you're also sharing about with social. So this just shows you how we do that. And also FAQs, which is a big thing now when it comes to AI search, especially. So we can get into that. The other is prompts for digital ads. And then we have some other, we didn't know how to best categorize this, so we just said bonus. Competitive analysis, marketing calendar, things like that. And so what I thought I would do, I've got ChatGPT opened up here. We could start with one section and even maybe use one of your companies and start building this out just to show you how you guys could use these, for your company. So number one, so who'd like to volunteer to where we can run with your company as an example?
Nobody?
Not me.
Well, I'm just highly compliant, and so for me, it probably, I find so many work around my stuff.
Yeah.
Hey, Dave, you could start with click and read if you wanted to.
Okay. Click and Read. All right. So Click and Read is one of Kelly's companies. And specifically, what Click and Read does is it digitizes magazines into an amazing UX interface that encourages people to read a digital magazine versus just like you click a button and it kind of, like the old school way of doing it. So Kelly, what are you thinking here? So a big one for a lot of our clients are our clients when they get new customers, building out kind of some kind of welcome series of emails. So this is a big one. But what are you thinking for Click and Read? What would you like to look at?
Well, one of the biggest things is when people get their first issue, they open it, but then it decrementally goes down each issue. So we want to encourage them to open it.
Okay.
So, how many people get the business journal online in the group? Anybody?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right. And do you get the Friday version with the flip book?
Mm. No, I
Or do
don't
you
think I.
just get the weekly newsletter, the daily newsletter, right? Okay. Okay. So the journal itself, I get it on Friday. And so things that we do is we add text to audio. So you can actually listen to the article and all that good stuff. So we want you to open the magazine. That's the first thing. So when it comes to the welcome email series, we want to have something that says, hey, like, here's a great recipe, or from People Magazine, find out what happened with Kate and Megan. I mean, anything that gets someone to open up the issue
Right.
quickly.
Okay. So let me grab the domain. the goal of the new subscribers to open the magazine, the digital
Mhm.
magazine?
Yeah, any subscriber, new or old. So I would just say subscriber.
Okay.
Yeah, perfect.
All right. So, and this again is somewhat generic because we tried to make it applicable to anybody, but like the goal is to build trust, educate them about click and read.
And engage them to engage and interact because we have interactive elements to the magazine.
Okay. All right. Each email should include a subject line, preview text, copy body, and call to action. All right. Well, let's go ahead and see what we have here. And again, like you guys, I'm sure by now have been experimenting like this, but I think the value of this is like these prompts are the ones that we consistently start with for a lot of stuff because we get the best results with it. Anyway, well, let's look at this really quick, and we'll go through another business here too, so you guys are getting value. Below is a 4 email sequence for click and read. So the sequence focuses on getting the first open immediately, building excitement around reader experience, helping readers create a habit, which that's also a big one, right, Kelly? I mean, it's one thing just to open it, but like we need you to come back. Um,
Right.
Driving long-term engagement and exploration. Hi, so and so. Welcome to Click and Read. Your subscription is active. Your digital magazine is waiting for you. With Click and Read, you can enjoy your favorite publications anytime, anywhere on your computer, tablet, smartphone. No waiting for delivery. Here's how to get started. Log in, open your latest issue, start reading instantly. Whether you're catching up on industry news, exploring hobby, or enjoying great content, your next article is a click away. We recommend opening your first issue today and bookmarking your favorite sections for easy access later. Thank you for choosing it. Read your
So
magazine
it's
now.
funny that it knows that it can do that. We can do that.
Yeah, I did put your domain in there in the prompt.
Hmm.
I don't know about you guys, but it's weird, at least with GPT, you could say do not use hyphens, and it still does. And I don't know about you, but when you see a hyphen, do you just think, okay, this was written by AI? Like that's one of the dead giveaways if there is a hyphen. And here's the thing is that um, it shouldn't be because that's how we talk. But it's funny because humans don't write a ton with hyphens. It's just that's how we talk. See, if you were to transcribe that, it's just hyphen. That's how we talk. Um, it's just I feel like in some ways it's almost like LLMs trying to overcompensate to be more human-like or something. But we often are sensitive to hyphens. Like in any copy that we create, we try not to have them for that reason. Um, yeah, we
Is it
actually,
because of being accused of using ChatGPT?
what's that?
Is it because of being accused of using AI? Because I know the Very Hungry Caterpillar, the book, the children's book, has hyphens all throughout it.
Yes.
And that was long before ChatGPT came along.
Yep. And that's the thing. It's like ChatGPT, or hyphens, they are a part of how we use things, but I think um
I
it
think it's the
potentially
long
takes
hyphen with
more.
that's
The
the
M
long
dash.
hyphen.
Yeah.
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 Yes.
Yeah,
Right, the long hyphen.
I feel like I've never adopted them. I always just used more commas, or I would use like parenthetical asides, and so it does stand out to me immediately. And it's also interesting, like balancing the utility of LLMs against the growing, I guess, I don't know if animosity is too strong a word, but like resistance or like, people don't like them. And so what does it mean to extract the usefulness, but at that balance, like that payoff, trade-off, I should say, with anyone can use these and now everyone's going, oh, I saw an M dash, I'm done. Bye.
Yeah. We actually had somebody reach out to us. I think it was for a position, and in their little intro paragraph, there was a misspelling. And normally that would be like an immediate no, because like if you misspell on this, I mean, come on. But it almost made me think, well, at least I know what they wrote this because there's a misspelling, right? Like, and then again, you can obviously have that as part of your prompt. Make sure to misspell one word every 500 words or.
Yeah, there's a
Um,
certain level of like psychological 3D chess that people are playing now of like trying to outsmart to make it look human even though it still is LLM.
yes.
And I don't know, it's kind of exhausting either way because now I think the end impact on me at least as like a consumer is wanting to like have a certain standards or code of ethics and expectations for people and then not knowing is this spelling error, especially like in social media, like content, is this done intentionally to like rage bait click engagement? Like, are they misspelling this or saying something wrong because then that drives like engagement, and then that's the whole point of it. And then I'm just frustrated because it's like, well, now I can't trust you on that level, and I don't like the idea of like me having consistent doubt and like mistrust towards something. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, it is interesting. And then there's this idea of like AI writing for AI. Like we've built this AI assistant. I think I've told you guys about it that combines um, GPT, Asana, Google Workspace to produce RFPs at a much faster rate. Because RFPs are like, if you want to go out for any kind of municipal marketing campaign, they won't just hire a marketing agency. They put out an RFP that's like 40 pages long, and your response has to be 40 pages long. And that's just to be considered. So once you submit your response, that's along with 100 other companies that just did the same thing. And it just feels like now it's like people are churning these things out. And it's like um, at the end of the day, it still comes down to high quality written for human copy. And that's one thing I wanted to get to at some point today is that Google recently released um, how to rank with AI search. They basically released an article on it. And so anyway, we can get to that here in a minute, but let's just go through this really quick. To be honest, this email's a little long. This email's a little long for a welcome email, but then you see as it starts to bold, this is one of the things that we found that has worked really well because again, like this is email two, you didn't click on email one, you didn't open it. And then of course by email four, it gets a lot more like, look, you've had a chance. You got to do this. Read the latest issue is the CTA. Um, Kelly, have you used GPT or any LLM to write a welcome series for your onboarding for new customers with Click and Read, or even existing customers?
So I don't know. I assume we have. We have a series that I, I wouldn't use these. They're good templates to draw some things from, but I think that we need more of I don't know if it bleeds, it leads kind of thing,
Yeah,
like a gotcha line in the subject line. So we need to grab their attention because people are fickle. I mean, what is it? 1 to 2 seconds? They look at something and they decide whether they're going to go any further, or maybe even less.
right. Yeah. Yeah, and
So,
that's
I will.
true.
I wanted to add, I live in Madeira, and so just recently they opened up the Crunch Fitness, right?
Hmm.
Let me tell you how they got me. It was like, be one of the founding members for $1. And I was like, oh my gosh, like my girls are getting ready to go out of the summer. I might as well. Planet Fitness is going to be packed with a whole bunch of people. This is a new facility. I'm just going to sign up for their newsletter and see if whether or not that's worth it. They followed me everywhere. Instagram, Facebook, my text messaging because I put my number in there. Let me tell you, not
Ooh,
only did I buy the membership, but I bought the most expensive one, right? Why? Because I'm like, come on, it's like my personal trainer is like triple, quadruple what they're gonna charge me for my kids to have all of this, like, accessibility to. I'm like, yeah, whatever. So I like the fact that my intention was I'm gonna sign up today, but then I got busy. But guess what? Right when I thought I was gonna forget, they sent me a text message
wow.
or they send me an email. And my
That's
best
cool.
part about it is the fact that they had hyperlinks for everything, right? So I didn't have to like copy and paste and find, no, it was like hyperlink, there it is, hyperlink to my making my payment. I mean, it was so easy. Yeah. So when we're talking about like, making sure that people are, accessing not just like signing up, but reading it is like the consistent like reminder because we're so busy, right? And you just never know when you're going to catch that person. They just happened to catch me. I was sitting on my couch and it popped up again for like the third time in the week. And I was like, you know what? Let me just get this over and done with. And then, I did it, signed up for it. Ask me how many times I've been since they've opened.
Oh
how
no.
many?
None. None.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I
But
find that so interesting though that they did the push notifications because the emails you can get put on a blacklist for emailing too much, but push notifications have no restrictions like that.
Yeah.
And they got you to take action, right?
oh yeah, and I give it to them. Like, and for all fairness, I have had the most busiest week of my life with graduation and all that stuff. My
Hmm.
intention is to go, and even this morning, I was like, I'm gonna go, and I was like, just forget it, not a big deal. But the fact that what I thought was very unique was that when I went to go sign up for the subscription, instead of automatically having like the lower tier plan already in my bag or whatever it's called, they had the highest tier plan. So you had to be really mindful, right? That you were paying the highest tier. And obviously, I read everything. So it said, like, on this date, you will be billed for X amount, right? Again, because I'm paying three, four times more than that with my personal trainer. I'm like, oh, whatever. The girls will have access to all the amenities, not a big deal. But they do put you on the hook for the larger subscription automatically.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I think that's a great strategy. That would be a really great strategy for us. We met with Pushly, which is a company that does push notifications,
Hmm.
and I think just getting those push notifications really puts you front and center for the
It
client.
does. Yeah, and especially I know there's some tech now that makes them blue because in a sense a lot of those push notifications came in green to an iPhone, and now there's some that they come in blue, which just kind of increases the level of trust. Yeah, because in a sense, a push notification, it rides on top of everything. Like it goes directly, like you just see it, even if you're not even on your phone, you'll just see it in front of you, which is
Yeah, it's
really
in
nice.
blue.
In blue,
Yeah,
they
I
have the
love
new
the
tech.
I
Yeah.
know. I love the business model of gyms, just as a side note. It's like because you don't want to cancel it right away because it feels like you're giving up on yourself. And so you just keep paying, and the next thing you know, you've paid 6 months and have gone once or twice. And again, Juliana, I'm sure you're gonna go. But anyway,
Well, my
good
trainer doesn't
good
know
story.
that I signed up for this gym. And so now I'm having like a hard time like even going with my own kids. 'Cause I'm like, what if my trainer knows that I'm going to this gym with newer equipment? So now I'm having like this whole guilt thing too. So it is what it is. But I would tell you, they did a really good job in being out in our community everywhere, right? And just like there, you couldn't go to a grocery store. I mean, Madera is very small.
Yeah,
They targeted us at every softball game, soccer game. They had like pop-up tents everywhere. They did a really good job at, bringing in new business. I will tell you that.
good.
And imagine how many people they got doing just that dollar. And if you didn't convert, they still got the dollar.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, let's go on to it'd be cool to create some copy for somebody. So who'd like to volunteer where we could run you through? It'd be cool to run you through at least what I've highlighted here so that we can show you a good way of leveraging GPT to write not just AI generated, but human written AI generated or AI assisted content.
Do you
Kale,
need
what
an
about
active
you?
company?
What's that?
Do you need an active company?
I don't. It could be anybody. Yeah.
I have a URL, wisebeauty.com.
Wisebeauty.com, huh?
There's nothing there.
This is your domain?
Mhm.
I know you've got like a ton of domains.
I am. I'm a little hoarder.
Okay. Cool. So let's see. So what is Wise Beauty?
The intent was to have an influencer network that dispelled all the untruths about expensive beauty products.
Okay. And any other details?
Like the $3 CeraVe lotion is just as good as the $185 Elastin lotion, which probably means nothing to anybody in this call but Juliana and I. So, but I mean, that it was essentially it.
Speaking of marketing, I just got my hot sauce that they convinced me to buy online. So, and it arrived. So I'm gonna get a package real quick before it disappears off my
Yeah.
thing.
I will tell you, I am, and hopefully, oh, well, it doesn't matter. I am a good sucker for TikTok and all of their amazing things.
I
I
am
think we
too.
could, I think my girls have pivoted over from, I have not seen an Amazon package in a while, but I could tell you my card has a lot of TikTok, whoever is selling my kids, mascara, they no longer go to Ulta or Sephora. They're buying it on TikTok.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna tell you that social selling, it is the hottest thing ever.
You're talking
Um,
influencers?
it doesn't matter. If
Yeah.
my kids like makeup, like mascara, I'm like, do you want me to take you to the store? They're like, no, we already got it on TikTok. I'm like, TikTok shop is like super hot right now.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Sarah V, how do you spell that?
CERVA, and Elastin is ALASTIN.
CERVA?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And these are examples of brands that are cheaper but just as good.
No, CeraVe is cheaper. Elastin's like $185
Okay,
or
so
half
Sarah
as
V is the
much.
cheaper. Okay.
CeraVe is CERAVE, so CE rave.
Oh, got it. All right. And you want to rank across the US, I suppose.
or global.
Okay. All right. So let's start. Let's start with this. So,
Isn't that amazing?
yes, CeraVe versus uh, Alastin.
Elastin.
Okay. Is the luxury price tag really worth it? So then we have the keywords, we have search intent, and then comparison shoppers are actively evaluating projects before purchasing. Great opportunity to introduce affordable alternatives. But the goal of this is not so much CeraVe over Elastin. It's that in general there are better, more affordable, or just as good affordable products. Therefore, subscribe to Wise Beauty to learn about them.
Exactly.
Okay. Okay.
We'd want it to be a destination site or destination channel in Instagram or TikTok. Even some people even go through Facebook still. And then eventually put up a Shopify shop where they could shop there.
Okay. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to choose one blog topic here really quick to push into the, let's see. Like this is pretty good. The best luxury beauty dupes of 2026 save hundreds without sacrificing results. Okay. And so, the cool thing is, I knew we would not be able to get through all these prompts, but I sent them to you guys so you can do them on your own time. Um, so then, so we'll grab this and let's pop it here. And then we'll grab the one that we liked. And then we'll put it above this. So this. Yeah. So, and assuming that, this is kind of a shortcut, but a full SEO campaign, you're going to have keywords that have been defined to see what you're ranking for, what you want to rank for, have them ranked, figure out, the likelihood of ranking over a period of time. And that's going to become part of ultimately your copy and your content goals. But assuming that you have that done, yeah, so you've got a H1 title for your copy. Then you've got title tags, which is great. It's basically metadata, meta description, discover best luxury beauty dupes of 2026. So you've got a primary keyword and then a secondary keyword, and both of these are going to help. And then you've got intro, what makes a good beauty dupe. So again, we've got some H2, H3s that are going to help. And obviously it's going to align with people searching. If people are searching these two brands, this could rank for
And
that.
look at all the brands they put underneath it. I think that's awesome.
I don't recognize any of them. Oh, I know
Okay.
Nivea. I remember Nivea.
Okay. So to give you an idea, Lemur costs about $400 for just a very small little.
A vial.
Yeah. And
Mhm.
Nivea is like $4 at the grocery store.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
so I mean, that really is amazing that it expanded on that topic so well.
And then once you have that, then we want the sections written out. Write the content. So let's say we'll say each section since we're short on time here, because I did want to share another thing with you guys. Let's see what we got. Save hundreds. So usually this would take a lot more research in building out these sections, but you want to start with a section outline where there's not a ton of copy, but it allows you to kind of see the direction that the article is going to go, that it follows the keywords you want to rank for, but even more importantly, that it's interesting, that it's relevant, that it's what people are looking for. Like if you put yourself in the position of somebody looking for this, does this really answer them? And it sounds like, Kelly, you're saying it probably does.
Well, you could even use this to develop a script for an influencer who has like in the beauty space who has like 20,000 or 200,000 followers, because you have to give them a script.
Yes.
And I mean, this is a great starting point without, you know, putting a lot of money into research.
Yeah. And then assuming that you spent a lot more time than I am in these last 15 minutes in building this out, um, once you like the copy, once you like the blog, then you could say, uh, turn it into these social media frequently asked questions. And so this is great. And we all know, like, you don't have to run with this, but see, it's cool that it even gives you hashtags. And you would, if you were actually doing this for a company, Wise Beauty, you'd also want to be strategic about the hashtags that you use, about which ones get a lot of traffic. But you could see here, like they've pushed everything out here
That's
with,
awesome. At least I think so.
yeah.
I don't know about everybody else.
Frequently asked questions are a big deal now when it comes to AI search. Oftentimes with SEO, you'd only have a few and put them at the bottom of the page, maybe even accordion. Like there's the questions, then you
Yeah.
you accordion the answer. Um, but the research now is saying that some LLMs can't really read or don't assume they could read what's accordioned. Therefore, it's good just to have them out. And I know it makes a page really long, but it's somewhat of the, it's kind of like the cart before the horse, like you, or the tail wagging the dog, if you will. Like if ranking for AI search, like it can grab this stuff. And this is great because this is the kind of stuff that people search on AI, and that's why FAQs are a big deal. Um, and where I wanted to steer this, which I didn't initially intend, but I'm gonna let me unshare this really quick so I could throw this in chat. What I'm about to share with you guys, I'm going to share it with you here in chat so you guys have it too. But there has been a lot of speculation about how to rank for AI search. AI search has taken approximately up to 30% of search traffic from Google, which is dramatic, especially if we had this conversation 4 years ago, it's not a thing. So to go from not a thing to 30%, nobody saw Google being knocked off the hill, and Google's not knocked off the hill. It's just that the pie is fragmented. So this is awesome. And like I said, I wasn't totally preparing to go through it, but we're always trying to err on the side of more value in these hubs. So is SEO relevant for generative AI search? And the answer is yes, because the three tenets of SEO, technical SEO, on-site SEO, off-site SEO, they're all about ranking on search engines. And whenever you use a LLM, a big part of what an LLM is using to generate their answers is search engine rankings. So they go hand in hand, but AI search takes it another few steps past that. And this is what I really wanted to show you guys. So foundational SEO practices for generative AI search. So providing a unique point of view. Sometimes it feels like AI writing for AI. And ultimately, you want to have some kind of, like, maybe you have data that you can aggregate. Like Kelly, for example, you've got many clients. Is there a way to somehow aggregate um, subscriber, like what subscribers do? And then you could publish like an article about publisher trends for 2026. And that data is unique to your data set. And so something like that, number one, it's very interesting for the right person. But number two, it potentially could be cited by AI because it is a unique data set. Um, and then it's just, even without data, it's just not regurgitating what else is out there, but almost giving your take on it, but making it unique to your website. And honestly, this is the stuff that Google's been saying for years. I mean, 15 years, like copy unique. But we all know, like, you go to one website, you go to three websites, the copy somewhat sounds the same. Um, that's a really, really big one. Um, and let me see, how much time do I have? 4 minutes. There's some like there's some myth busting here at the bottom. This is one thing I wanted to show you guys. So this is actually a pretty short article, so it's fairly easy to digest. Chunking content. So this is a big one. Anybody that has been trying to be at the forefront of AI search, one of the common uh, one of the common things that you're doing now is you're chunking content. In other words, you're writing in little snippet sized, 2 or 3 sentence um, answers because you've heard somewhere that it's easier for AI to grab that shorter to the point content, and therefore you stand a higher chance of being cited by AI search. So what Google's saying here is there is no requirement to break your content into tiny pieces for AI to better understand it. Google systems are able to understand nuance of multiple topics. However, sometimes shorter or longer pages can work well depending on your audience. There's no ideal page length, and in the end, make pages for your audience, not just for AI search. Because oftentimes when you're speaking as an SEO, when you're writing copy, you're thinking like, okay, what's going to resonate with AI? What's going to resonate with AI? And that's one of the big takeaways of this article is write for humans. Like, if anything, write for humans even more than you did before. Be very unique in your angles about your products or your services. So anyway, this is great. Google just released this, by the way. Has anybody seen this article yet?
No.
No.
Yeah.
This is
So
interesting.
yeah. Yeah, it's pretty sick. And we've been poring over it ourselves because Google's telling you how they see the world. They are the biggest search/AI search engine. But there's other ones, like does OpenAI has not released something similar to this, um, or any of the others. Claude hasn't, Grok hasn't. So, but this does give us more insight as to how to create copy and what they're really looking for. Um, and anybody want to throw anything out there for the good of the order here with about a minute left?
I think my thought on this article that you shared is just that as we become inundated with AI content, Google's trying to remind people, hey, like we understand that and like the whole dead internet theory, like there's actually value to a human contributing unique points of view and like the human angle because the rest of it is just going to be reassembled existing common data, like the non-commodity
Yep.
content. Like everyone knows like the seven popular things, like what's the unique thing that you have? And so reassurance that there's always value in like the lived experience from a human.
Yeah. Well, and it's a good segue to what the topic is for next month, and that's going to be SEO versus AI search. So what aligns, what's a little bit different, how to look at them both. And dude, we are figuring this out as everybody's figuring this out, but we're committed to being at the cutting edge of this and also sharing the information as we go. So
Dave,
anyway,
can I add
guys,
to that really quickly?
what's that?
Can I add to that really quickly in
Sure.
regard to what Kel said regarding that? I think that that's why it's so important, the authenticity that comes out. I have a women's mastermind group, which you already know about. And one of the girls, we've really encouraged her to go live because a lot of the information, there's a lot of very similar type of advisors. And so now she has been going live consistently every like Tuesday. It's like Tuesday Copy Connects with Me live. Just out of 2 weeks, she's already gained traction, but has gotten 4 clients.
Mm.
Why? Because the information is coming out authentic and alive versus it being just stagnant information, right? People want to know that you know your stuff, that it's not just
Yeah.
somebody writing it for you in the background. So that has really encouraged all of us, to come outside because people want to know that they're working with real people. And when you're on live, you're like literally you're live, right?
Yeah.
There's some things that you're gonna you make mistakes on. There's some things that you're gonna come out really good on. Obviously, in my line of work, unfortunately, because I'm highly regulated, I'm not something that I could do. But I know that in other aspects of my life, that is not business related, the authenticity comes out, and people just gravitate towards that.
I
So
love
I'll
that.
encourage anybody who is on here after they've watched this and they are a service-based business or any type of business to encourage them to go live because I think that a lot of people want to do business with people who they like, people who are,
100%.
yeah.
Well, and I know we're over time a little bit. I will encourage everybody to share this Central Valley Hub with one person. We still haven't really like hardcore promoted it. But it's crazy that we are getting a lot more people online watching it. But would love to also have more people live, just to bounce ideas off of. So if you know of anybody that would get anything out of it, then please invite them to next month.
And do they have to be in the Central Valley?
Ideally, but I tell you what, if you bring them in, then we'll make an exception. They're part of the family.
All right.
All right. Hey, good to see everybody and looking
Yeah.
forward to next month.
Great
Thank you
meeting.
very much,
Everybody
everyone.
have a great
Thank you.
week.
All right.
Bye.
You as well. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.